On the table today at Squirrel Stampede, I am trying to build the perfect Transfomers ONE Bumblebee collection.
Ah, sick! A Squirrel Stampede Transformers Bumblebee review? I've been waiting for this my whole life.
You're not a bumblebee.
I'm not? Oh.
And when bumblebees are on the table, things get a little weird here.
Please, once you get a Cyberverse Bumblebee, you don't really need to ever get another one.
Cyberverse, it's G1 all the way.
Last time we built a pretty good Transformers ONE Optimus Prime collection, so this time I have to compliment with Bumblebee, and there are a lot of options. Maybe so more than Optimus Prime, what do you think? There are a lot of bees on the table, so...
Oh my gosh, those are real bumblebees.
So join up today, find out what's going on, what Transformers of Bumblebee we have found, and hopefully they'll fit right into my Transformers ONE collection.
Squirrel Stampede,
Please like,
share, and Squirrel Live.
This is a Transformers ONE Bumblebee B127 tall figure? Tall Transformer figure? What do you call this series? Honestly, I've never liked this shoebox style of Transformer. I don't think I've ever actually purchased this style before. I kinda did it though this time because I wanted something to stand up tall against Power Flip Prime, as I was kinda worried some of the basic Bumblebee figures might turn out a little small. But these are usually a little bit ridiculous. I kinda wish Hasbro did not make these. What did they make me buy? Let's get B127 out. Whoa. He's like an enormous Happy Meal toy. He's certainly a tall bee. It's a tall bee. Watch out for its stinger. That's a squirrel paw. That's kind of disgusting. I hope that's not its stinger. Well, I certainly got the height I was looking for. This guy goes up to 11 inches. It's the Barbie doll of Bumblebee. Yeah, these are so weird. I can see why I always pass on them. I just wanted to check it out though. Wow, look how hollow he is underneath from below. Pretty good shielding, pretty good shielding, pretty good uh-oh, what happened here? Hollowverse. Although I gotta say, 3 stages of transformation, really refreshing. I was pulling Bumblebees out of my collection this week, some from long ago, which I still can transform quite easily, and some from just recently, which I'm baffled on how to get him back into vehicle mode. So how do we pull this off? Grill goes up, go into spaceship mode and pull the front arm wheels down, and then flip around this full hollow back section. Okay, that was pretty easy. So yeah, vehicle mode is probably the cooler part, a little more less hollowness to it, unlike the robot mode. I love the little Cyberverse Cybertron wheels, the futurish style of Bee there in his techno mode. And there you go, he's completely, you would never know that's Bee from underneath. I wish the black stripe would follow back through though, that was kind of a misfire. Is it supposed to? Maybe it's not supposed to. That is one giant golden shoe-mobile, almost a Bee Batmobile-esque type of thing. Rolls nicely though. And so I feel like this is the largest Bee I can hold on to for this collection. A little bit nicer than some of these tiny, tiny bees. So the next scale of Bee would be Energon Glow Bumblebee. This one might be a good one to go against Power Flip Optimus Prime. Scaled a little bit larger, maybe a little more detailed than what we just saw. Quick and easy transformation at 6 steps. And from the image there, pretty good looking Bee. Retrieving from box. Ooh, I like this one so far. And you can see the glowy Energon on his wheels and on his arms and a little bit on his back pane window. Once again, hollow in the legs though. Whoop. How does scaling feel with Power Flip? A little bit small there. He's still above the line of sight on the forehead there. Oh, I like this design so far though. It could be a really quick take with you anywhere kind of bot. Loaded with way more articulation than what we first saw. We've got head rotation, we've got shoulders on a ball joint and a lift joint to kind of pivot up. Elbows there on a ball, I believe. Yeah, ball joint there. Hip joints to kick on out and knee joints. So just the basic. Did I just see? Did anyone just catch that Energon Glow? Whoa! Energon Glow! Now that is something I have not yet ever seen in a Transformer of late. Has this happened before? Have they added in an LED effect? That is really quite spiffy cool looking. Let's try this in a more darkened theater. Pressing his chest, we reveal Kind of a purple flickering Energon light. Look at it flicker. That looks so good on his hood or his chest there. And now it's a deep blue. Now we're getting a deeper blue with flickering. We've got a couple multi-choices here. It's either going to be a purple, bluish purple. There it is. Oh, that looks so cool. I hope we see this more in the verse of Transformer. Obviously, though, you're going to need a bigger full-on chest cavity to fill up that electronics, and you can see that most of his chest in there is going to be needed to be reserved for the lighting, the LED, the battery pack, all that fun stuff. But wow, that was a great effect. Really did not expect that. And here it was, a toy that was called Energon Glow. That's a lot more reasonable than the 86 Bumblebee and the 23 stages of transformation. I like the simple ones nowadays. So what do we have in these quick red instructions? Oh, before we go too far, he's got his classic bee stinger and a small little blaster for the other hand, which I believe you could also attach the bee stinger to. So let's not forget those. All right, transformation level 1, put the legs together. Trying not to fall in one's bee face. Stages 2 and 3, we're adjusting his upper wheel wells. Let's take these weapons off. And honestly, levels 4, 5, and 6, you're just gonna keep rotating until this panel fits together. And so there we go. Almost too simple for the instructions. I have a feeling this is going to be my favorite bee of the collection today. It's simple, yet complicated enough to make a good Transformer bot. And I like the Energon Glow effect, especially on his wheels and then upper on his screen there. And I don't think you get much in vehicle mode with the light. It's more for robot mode. I guess you get kind of that cool glowy ground, as if he was zipping through the city. You've got a little bit of light reflecting on the table. Not bad. Yeah, I like this one. I don't see it as often as the other two, so you may have to hunt one down, but so far it's worth the hunt. And it's fast. And then now we can check out our basic release, Transformers ONE Bumblebee B127. This would be your full-on Transformer Bumblebee from Transformers ONE, the main core movie line. And if you recall from last time, I really enjoyed my Orion Pax Optimus Prime. I think he turned out better than the Studio Series version, so I'm really looking forward to how this Bumblebee is going to go, although I'm already a little worried that this bee is going to be pretty well scaled, almost larger maybe than even Prime here. We'll find out. Obviously, without the Energon Glow effect, this one will be a little more detailed, a little more complicated in transforming. We're at 15 steps, which is pretty reasonable. I like that. That's about right. Any more than that, I run into things like this where I'm like, I can't remember. Of course, nothing beats G1 Bumblebee. So I think we got this one though. We still got this one. Let's get out of box. And this bee out of the box. And yes, he almost makes Optimus Prime feel a little bit small, right? So scaling issues with this might not be the best. Gotta check back at the preview and watch the show. I think they're more similar scaled when they're working deep within the bowels of Cybertron. We'll find out if the scale is okay there. It's working though as a standalone figure really well. Kind of feels like something we've never seen before from B, so I really like the design they've got going with this one. For robot mode too, pretty good, pretty clean, not much hanging off. There's a little bit of a hollowness under his knees, but that's kind of hidden. I like how the chest and back tucks up on in. I like the wheelie shoulders. I like how seamless that is. You can hardly tell those are wheels. Good color with B too. Instead of this just bright Crayola yellow we've seen many a times, there's a little gold. There's a little bit of a gold plastic finish in there, which really screams Cybertron. Articulation with this B, of course, head rotation, 360, shoulders up on a ball joint, and elbows there. He can grab onto his weapon like so. Waist rotation, looking good, and hips, knees. Yeah, there's just enough for a really good stance. Good flat feet placement will really keep him stabilized. In fact, this one's one of the few that you can kind of get on some cool standing because of those giant flat feet, but I gotta work on that. All right, B, what are the 15 steps for you? 1, 2, and 3, we're gonna hide that head inside that back panel back there. 5, we're gonna do the classic Transformers waist spin. That one always gets me, especially when you find, say, a Transformer from years of yore and you're like, wait, does this one waist spin or not? 6, we'll flip back those feet. 7 will flip up that front grille. 9 and 10, he's gonna do some sort of arm crunchies, looking something like this. It was hard to pivot these flanges around on in, but once they loosen up, it's getting a little better. 12 and 13, we're flipping up these leg panels. Takes a little time to squeeze in these legs and sandwich them like so, almost like the back of a dump truck. Then in 15, we'll flip back this back panel and it should sandwich and squeeze everything in somewhat tight. Okay, I think it's one of those squeeze bots where you just keep rotating and squeezing things into position, especially on that first transform. But once through, we've got our bee done, and wow, this is certainly the most detailed and actually looks like a bee. Crazy. I mean, how did Cybertron evolve to have robots that look like bees from Earth? That's odd. Oh, and let's get his weapon placed up on his back. Well, just like Optimus Prime, I kind of like this one. I think this one turned out well. I think this is kind of the level of where I enjoy my Transformers. I don't like them overly complicated. The Studio series sometimes goes to that next level. I just want something I can flip through rather simply. And sometimes, hopefully, more affordable too at this scale and price. So 3 of the main bees here worked on today. Obviously, each one radically different than the other. This one is for total knock-around play, probably the most robust. This one with the Energon Glow effect, which I think is my favorite. And a close second is your basic release bee. I think that turned out great and has the best looking bee design out of them. You lose some of those wings on these two. You don't really see how he looks like a bee in this version. So a little more fine detail with this one. This one could be a shoe. This one with the Energon Glow, definitely the best. And we've got one more whiteout, one more bee. I couldn't resist this one step Transformers Bumblebee B127. There's something about the one-steppers that always get me so curious. And how can we forget last year's, what were they, flex flippers or something, in which you just rotated. There we go, Bumblebee around, and that was so complicated and made my head spin Mobius strip-like. So maybe this time we'll have a little more fun with this one. Almost looks to be in same scale with the basic release bot. Let's get out. Well, there he is, bee in vehicle mode. A stripe all the way down the back. He's got that going, but other than that, pretty much, it could be SpongeBob for all we know. How do we do this in one step? I already don't get it. Whoa, whoa. He's loose. He's incredibly loose. Well, that's weird. This is more than one step. Come on. What? What? Oh, what? Hello, bee. Oh, okay, that was weird. Let's try that again. Pull the legs apart. What? That was incredibly fast. Feels like more than one step, though. We've got bee, basic bee now. Hardly any articulation, of course. No head rotation. Shoulders you can raise up, and no elbows to speak of, or wrists. And, well, legs. He's like wearing a giant coverall suit. Got his wheels in the back. Probably can roll around on his back. But if you want to go back, just simply do that. That's fun. But if you want to go back to robot, a lot better than last year's flex changers. A lot better. I can just do this over and over again and feel pretty good at it. It's like I'm doing a Michael Bay transformation in the palm of my hands. Wow. Oh. Well, that is a weird one. Glad to throw it in with the group. And believe it or not, yet there is another Bumblebee. The Transformers ONE Robot Battlers B127. What is this? I was initially going to hold on this and actually do a full-on Robot Battlers thing, but I don't know if I'll ever get to it, so I'll just do this now. What? He's just flanging around in pack right now. Look at that, his arms are wiggling, itching for battle. They've got this weird Cybertronian scissors base. And 3 steps of transformation, I like that. My gosh, how many bees are there? Well, let's get this one out too. And out of box, Scissors Bee is here. This is so weird. It's as if Hasbro was trying to take on Akato a little bit with their fighting game. Only your fingers get kind of stuck in these scissors. And Bumblebee really just likes waving one of his arms. Can we get the other arm to wave? There we go. Oh, and of course he has an Energon Caveman Club. So I suppose to win you would knock your opponent off their base They pop on and off pretty easily. Transformation, though, we do have transformation, which is kind of cool that they threw that in too. And that was pretty simple. 3 steps of bee transformation. And it is so now. I think I finally exhausted all ports of bee. These 2 definitely in the gimmick verse. These 2 definitely in your want to get verse. And this one if you just want a giant bumblebee shoe.
Dan, you can't tease something like this and not talk about it.
Oh, that's right. Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. I guess we're not just done yet. Well, maybe because this is from a different movie. The 86 movie, versus Transformers ONE. I collected maybe half of this series. I really like many of the figures. Kind of an update on yesteryear. Bumblebee visible from window package and over onto the back. 23 steps. How does he go from like what, 5 steps to 23 steps? Big screen inspired. And this is kind of blocky, but that's just an image. Let's see what it is out of the box. And Bee of Bumble. These backdrops included, so beautiful, yet I always end up throwing away. So there's 86B out of the box. That's our Bee from back in the day. Pretty clunky up front and back, got a lot of carriage, but maybe that's about right. And so, see a lot of heavily articulated points, hopefully. All around, just looking like a fun bee. I think the closest match I have of a bee of this style would be this one? And I can't even remember what this one was or where it was from. I think it was like one of those masterpiece things or something. So I'm kind of like going, oh, okay, did they get the proportions? Is it kind of like right? Am I seeing bee there? I guess so. This one's certainly more designed with the VW bug in mind, whereas this one is designed more of a copy of a VW bug. And of course, just our basic old school. A little bit taller there. What is his height, by the way? About 4 inches tall. So articulations, head rotation, shoulders on both joints. I feel like a repeated record today for all the articulated bumblebees. A midsection rotation point, an elbow, rotation at the wrists, rotation at the waist. That's a nice addition, not always there. There is movement at the hips, which kick out and rotate. Extra little knee rotation, rotation above the knee, I should say, knees, and then I don't know what's going on here. It's all kind of molded into his transformation. Yeah, it's a really nice looking bumblebee. I like this one. Definitely worth adding into my bee collection. I'm certainly at this saturation point though, where I don't want to add too many more Transformers into my collection, and they just keep making them. I often kind of take one off the edge and throw it into a giveaway or a sell pile once I get too many, but with bees and primes I kind of just collect a group. Well, 23 stages of transformation, huh? How am I going to get through this one? We're kind of tailing here at the end of the video, so I don't want to go too much into the complexities of this one, so I think I'm just going to like flip this around like so. I'm going to bend this flange like that, turn it like this, and you will basically have... And there we go. Now, funny I did not film the transformation because this was one of the most satisfying transformations I've done in quite a while. Everything folded up and tucked up and bent so nicely, although I'm getting a little bit of a wobble right now in his driving. It just was so smooth of a transformation. There's always some step that just does not want to go, and pretty much everything here went really well. So if you're seeking a really fun old school bee style, I gotta recommend this guy totally. Really fun work. So vehicle mode, certainly more blocky on this bee, and there's a little bit of a color change here and a couple spots. It's like they're having trouble deciding what color of yellow he is at certain points. It's like his robot arm yellow, torso, and some certain points are a little bit lighter color and will slightly distract, but that's just a minor issue. I really like this one. It's gonna fit well with your Studio Series 86 stuff. So you happy now, old school bee, that we caught up with 86?
Yeah, I think we're good here.
So I'm pretty sure I've over-assembled a Bumblebee for the test of time. What else did I find again for Transformers ONE? I still have one Megatron to look through. Kind of would like to find another one. Last time I was teasing these guys. I'm gonna have to do like a Transformers The Other Ones collection review. This is Alpha Trion, Alpha Trion, and Sentinel Prime. Maybe when the movie comes out, I can kind of do that an afterward thing. That way we can kind of discuss thoughts and feelings of the show. I also just recently found a Quintesson. Ooh, that might just go really well next to the Alpha Trions. Yum. weird looking dude, by the way. And oh, hey, I found one other Prime. It's a Transformers ONE Ultimate Energon Optimus Prime. I think it kind of goes along with this scale, this style. Although I think there's also a more dumbed down version of Prime 2. Am I right? Am I right? These two would scale together. This one actually just looks like a really cool back of shelf Prime. It will be curious to know how he does. We'll go back to him when we check out those yummy Alpha Trions. Although from here, I can tell you I really like the robot mode. That right now looks pretty slick. This one, that looks like he got part of his arms lobbed off in a tunnel. And so here we have an alarmingly sized Transformers ONE Bumblebee collection growing quite fast. And a few other bees I've collected throughout the years. Not everyone, but most of them. I did not realize I've had so many bees in the collection. I thought I was mostly a Optimus Prime collector, but here we go with a ton of different bees now on the table. A lot of yellow. A lot of yellow. And when you start getting that many bees, you start going, wait, which bee is this one from where and what? Sticking with what we just saw today though, I'm all about Energon Glow Bumblebee and your basic release Bumblebee. Those two were a lot of fun. The rest were gimmicks, but you know what? Sometimes you may just need a gimmick on your shelf. And that is my Transformers ONE Bumblebee collection. What do you think? I probably bee overboard it because there are a lot of bees. Some of these I probably don't need as much as the others, but it was really fun to kind of see them all standing to one another. What do you think? If you liked today's video, please give us a squike, squirrelibe, squam at your favorite Transformers ONE Bumblebee and or any Bumblebee throughout the universe. We have Squirrel Stampede merch out there, t-shirts, water bottles, plush Landry. Thank you again for watching. That's what I have to say about that. Oh, no! Now with fear, he's clear. You can pull it back by itself.
Oh no!
Maybe not do that. Whoa!